Hi, everyone. Today for our Wednesday Spotlight, we are introducing Karen Bruton. Karen has been a friend now for what, Karen, 6 years?
Yeah, probably 6 years.
About
4 years
6
I've been doing
years.
this. So
All
yeah.
right. Well, yeah, I was grateful when Karen came on board with us. She has a special heart, especially for our little pre-readers. So I'm going to let Karen tell you a little bit about her experience.
Well, I've taught in public education for over 30 years. Um, First, I started doing special ed with early childhood, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, which probably helps with my love of little ones. And then I moved to doing resource. And then that went into dyslexia. So half in special ed, half in dyslexia, which kind of started with a quest when my son, in kindergarten, they wanted to hold him back because he was not reading. And yet he could tell you everything about the Great Wall of China. He could recreate it in blocks, but he could not make the fat rat sit on the mat. If you've ever read that little book, you know what I mean. So I kind of started a quest for him because he was smart, but he could not read. That led into dyslexia, and with several moves. I did it in several different districts. I graduated and I took the Take Flight curriculum training, and I did that till 2008. So I've been a CALT, which is a certified academic language therapist, since 2008. I retired from public education in 2018 and joined Jen's group, which I just love because I really love virtual one-on-one with the students. I really get to know their families better, what's going on. When I make presentations about dyslexia, I always tell them that a dyslexic or a kid with difficulty reading is like a snowflake. We know what it is when we see it, but they're all unique. And so the passion that I find is when I have to find out what makes that child unique, what do I need to do to make him become a reader? And that kind of drives me. And with virtual, I get to do a lot of things that I was unable to do in public education because I'm not tied to testing. I'm not tied to holidays. We just, do our own thing, and we meet. I have several students that I've met with for 2, 3 years, three times a week. So we're working on reading, and now some of them we're working on writing. The best thing I think is when I finally get a kid to choose a book on their own, or their mom will go, look, they're reading a book on their own. And I'm like, well, yay, that's our goal. It's also bittersweet because once they start reading books and chapter books and they're like, I can read this, then I know we're going to be winding down our time because my job is done. And it's always kind of bittersweet. That's
Well,
kind of me
awesome.
in a nutshell. I've
Yeah.
lived. Right now, I'm in Midland, Texas. We have lived various places in Texas: Bryan College Station, Rockwall, Dallas area, San Antonio, Houston. So I've been all over the state. Um, I do have, like I said, my son, he'll be 31 in August, is dyslexic. He is in seminary in North Carolina, and he will in December get his second master's on his way
Wow.
to getting a PhD. So people out there, it does happen. It just took him a lot longer. He took less class loads. He employs some things for helping him reading. It really shows up in his writing. In fact, sometimes when he has to read a paper when I read a paper for him, have a word, underlined from spell check, and it's like, I have no idea what you're spelling. And so spell check doesn't always work for him. And we also just found out that my youngest granddaughter is dyslexic. She'll be in 2nd grade, and she's going to start the Take Flight program. So grandma, or Mimi, she's like, I attend all the meetings because I know what they should be doing. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do have a heart for those kids that have difficulty reading, and we really get a bond together, just working one-on-one. And I try and tell the students that I'm not going to teach them something they already know, because I don't want to waste their time. And if they don't understand something, let me know. And I think that's unique because sometimes kids are afraid in the classroom, even in a small group, to say, I don't get what you're teaching.
Yeah,
I don't get.
absolutely.
And we have the luxury of going over it enough times until they get it. I don't have to move on. So I think if you're interested in tutoring or therapy, dyslexia therapy for your child, virtual is a great way to go because we have a lot more flexibility with our time and your schedule, and we can usually make it work.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Karen, so
Uh-huh.
much. If you want to talk with somebody at Multisensory Reading Center or work with Karen, just contact us below in the comments. Thanks so much.